Hello and welcome to the Mojave Desert. Back in July, I did a review of the Sыma X5C that wasn't very flattering. It was the original base model, and that aircraft had a lot of stability issues, particularly with wind, if you were flying in the wind, or if you were trying to make a turn or a banking turn, both the aircraft would start to wobble. It would wobble severely, actually. It was a big problem, and because of that, I didn't really recommend that quadcopter. Sыma has since apparently taken note and has released an upgraded model called the Sыma X5C-1. I've heard that it has corrected those stability issues, and I want to do a test flight today to confirm that. The way that you can tell that you have an upgrade model over the original base model is to look for this red X in X5C-1 on top of the canopy of the quadcopter. Also look for this label. It says 2.4G. The original base model did not have these decals or these labels on top of the quadcopter. What I'm going to do today, again, is primarily to demonstrate stability of the aircraft, to see if that stability has been improved. Also, I'm going to demonstrate the capabilities of the camera. This has a camera just like its predecessor, the X5C, and in both of them, it appears to be the same downward angle. I did not like that in the original quadcopter because that tends to show too much ground in your video, and you rarely see the horizon in the video. I expect to see the same with this, but we'll see. We'll see. One other thing is, this is an HD camera, and it's drawing its power off the battery of the quadcopter. That tends to reduce the flight time almost in half, I've noticed, in initial flights of this quadcopter. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to activate the camera until it's at altitude. That's to hopefully give us more flight time for today's demonstration video. One thing I've noticed also, a change in that to activate the camera, before, I believe it was you press this button or this button would activate the camera, but for this quadcopter, for the X5C-1 model, to activate the camera, you push down on what would normally be the throttle trim button, and that turns on the video camera. If you want to take a still photo, you push up on the throttle trim button, and that will take a still photo. Okay, let's go right into a demonstration flight. For today, we have a wind coming from the south here, which is unusual. And that places it right in the sun. So if I'm going to fly upwind, I'm probably going to be flying a lot toward the sun. I'm going to try to keep the quadcopter off in this area here. The wind seems to be changing now. It's coming from the east. Strange. Okay, turning on the quadcopter. Okay, I got the quadcopter turned on, setting it down to stabilize its gyros. Turning on the transmitter, binding the quadcopter. Let's go for a flight. Right away, I notice improved stability of this quadcopter over its predecessor. Right now, I'm going to send the quadcopter up to altitude, and then we'll activate the camera. That should be about high enough. Turn the quadcopter toward the mountains and turn it on the video camera. We got some significant altitude there. Another problem I've noticed with the older X5C was it had range issues. This one, I'm out to about 80 meters, I'm guessing right now. Seems to be flying well. And it seems to be the limit of its range at about 80 meters. Okay, I'm bringing it down now, and I'm turning off the camera to save battery power. Now let's test out its maneuverability. I'm going to go to expert mode here. Let's bring it down here. it's nice and maneuverable. The older quadcopter would not bank. It would wobble. This one seems to have no problem at all banking. So apparently the stability issues have been corrected. Let's bring it in closer. Going back to beginner. And let's test its stability in hover. Very stable quadcopter. Actually so stable I think your mother could probably fly this. Very impressive. So apparently Sыma has upgraded this model. I can tell a big difference between this and the original X5C. I'm not seeing any wobbling at all. Very nice flyer. Actually, I'm very impressed how well this thing flies. Very smooth. Very stable. I don't know what they did to fix it, but they fixed it. Maybe it only took them about a month or two to fix it since I did that review. I don't know. They must have been aware of the issue beforehand. Maybe it was a simple fix. Maybe it was just a problem with the software for the PID controller. But this is a very stable flyer compared to its predecessor. So in terms of flying ability, I would highly recommend this for a beginner to learn on. It's one of the most stable actually I've seen so far, the way this is flying. I like it. I like it a lot actually. And the range seems to have been fixed also on this quadcopter, because I was out there. Okay, we got a breeze coming right now from my back. Let's see how this performs in that breeze. Turning in the breeze. Turning back into the breeze. No wobbling at all. So that issue's been corrected. Yeah, this is a great quadcopter for the price. I guess they're running about $55, $56 with free shipping. At least they are in GearBest where I got this. Thanks again, GearBest, for sending this. Let's turn on the camera one more time. Videotape myself. Hi. I'm going to try something flying backwards to see if that shows the horizon. You can do this with downward pointing cameras to fly backwards. Okay, I'm bringing it in now. Quadcopter 101. Hope you enjoyed the flight. Quadcopter 101 back again. There's one quick thing I want to demonstrate. If you don't have spare 500 milliamp hour batteries that came with the quadcopter and you want to keep flying, you can actually get away with using these micro quadcopter batteries, these 350, 300 milliamp hour batteries, such as for the CG022 or the JXD quadcopters. They do fit in the battery compartment for the quadcopter. Being 350 milliamperes, they're not going to give you the same amount of flight time as the original X5C battery, but they will give you enough to go play around with. Keep in mind though, if you fly with these smaller batteries, don't use the camera. Don't expect very long flight times with the camera turned on with these smaller batteries. These are just for flying around with batteries. So just to demonstrate this actually works, again, you saw me put in the micro quadcopter battery into that quadcopter, binding the quadcopter, and taking off. Again, that's just a micro quadcopter battery in there. And it works just as well as the stock battery in terms of power. Just don't expect the same amount of flight time. I'm actually having a lot of fun flying this upgraded X5C-1. I'm surprised how stable this thing is. Let's try some hard banks. Hard bank to the left. Let's go to expert mode. Oh yeah. This is with micro quadcopter battery, 350 milliamp hour. No wobbling at all. Thank you, Sыma, for fixing that. I did want to like this quadcopter because it looks real cool. And now it flies real cool. And that's with the camera installed. I wonder how it flies without the camera installed. That's with the camera, with the prop guards, and with a 350 milliamp hour battery. Oh, here comes a raven. Come here, Raven. Come over here. He's coming over here. I'm turning on the camera. Come over here, Raven. Okay. I better bring that... Ooh. He's riding a thermal. Maybe I want to ride it. No, I better bring that quadcopter in before that small battery dies. Sыma X5C-1 upgrade model. Hey, if you do buy one of these, make sure you verify with your vendor that they are supplying you the upgraded version. Again, with the X5C, with the Red X, and with the 2.4G. There's probably still a lot of the old base models still on vendor shelves that they're trying to get rid of. If the price seems too good to be true, again, verify with your vendor that you're getting the upgrade model. You do not want that older base model. That model was terrible. This one's a great flyer, though. I highly recommend it. Again, verify with your vendor that they are shipping the X5C-1. Okay, Quadcopter 101, signing out.